This question for the women on the panel: would you prefer for men to pursue virtuous women, not promiscuous, or would you prefer men to take women with a 15 plus high body count that is not as virtuous? What do you think that men, what would y'all prefer men do?
I don't know what he's asking.
He's basically saying, do you think that it would be better for men to take women off the market? Well, I'm just going to try to summarize it the best I can. Would you think it would be better for men to take women off the market that's already on the market? Or would you think it's better for men to only pursue women that are more virtuous and not as promiscuous?
I think a virtuous man should try to get a virtuous woman. If you're not a virtuous man, no, I do not think you deserve a virtuous woman.
What makes you virtuous?
Well, I would say
Or what
according
makes a man virtuous and what makes a woman virtuous?
well, I would say according to the Bible. So I would say that you have to be a believer in Christ. I would say that you would have to be, it doesn't say you have to be a virgin as a man, but I think at this point it's much better that way. I think you have to be a man of morals, values, like pretty much follow the rules of the Bible.
So to conclude, and then that means that
Good
depending on when you gave
character.
your life to God, that the body count shouldn't matter then.
Mm.
No, the body. Wait, say that again.
So what you're saying is based off of when you gave your life over to God and how you live your life, that your past and your body count shouldn't matter because that's not the determination of whether or not you're virtuous now.
Yeah, see, yes, but that's why I said the man would need to be virtuous too, because what I don't think is that a man who's not virtuous should be with a virtuous woman. So if he's virtuous, then yeah, he should look for a woman who's virtuous as well.
Which doesn't necessarily exclude a woman with a high body count.
No, because I said the virgin thing is the preferred, but as adults, a lot of us miss that mark, obviously. So, no, I don't think that the body count. Oh, that's tough. As that's a tough one for. That's a tough one. I gotta go to the word and see if it says something about that first before I
No,
answer because I really
I
can
want your
you if
authentic
you
reaction.
if
I don't
you
want you
if
to give the answer that you
see,
think.
okay, I would okay. So remove if I remove just the virgin thing, then yes. Oh, virtuous is just such a perfect word, But that's a tough one, Anton, because I don't know if you dedicate your life after you made poor choices, does that make you virtuous? It might make you a good person, a god-fearing person, like God is going to let you in, but do you get to gain the title of virtuous, or is it those who stayed pure and did it the right way from the beginning, they earned the title of virtuous, and if you didn't do it that way, you just don't get it? I don't know.
I got a question, Anton.
I don't know.
Um, the Bible is saying that everyone should not have sex before marriage, not just women. So I would like to know, just in society, how does this only apply to women? Like, how does it only get applied to women and not men? When if you're supposed to be, meaning someone is supposed to be a Christian, then it applies to everybody, not just women.
What do you mean? How did it society? Society is made.
Meaning, like, I understand the whole bodies thing, right? We always talk about this, but
Mhm.
my my question is, when we talk about these things and we talk about virtuous, which most people are talking about it from a religious standpoint, in the religion of Christianity,
Mhm.
nobody is supposed to have sex before marriage. There's
Mhm.
no premarital sex.
Mhm.
So if men are allowed to just go out and run amok, then they're not obeying the Bible.
Who said it, that we were allowed to?
Meaning, I'm saying, okay, the society norm is that men are going to be men and they're going
Mhm.
to do what they do naturally. Okay, going conquering women and blah blah blah, and then the women are supposed to be virtuous. We're talking about women with body counts because we're not going to talk about a man with a body count, right? So what I'm
We
saying,
talk about it all the time.
why does that? Yeah, but no man cares about
But
another
we
man.
don't. But we don't evaluate ourselves based off of what other men think. Christianity is not about. It's not a democratic process. You know what I'm saying? It's not based off of how we feel. It's based off of what God said is right or wrong.
Right.
So,
So the right
so
thing
if
is
you're evaluating it, if you're posing this question based off of what societal norms are, I would say that the question is not a good question at all because you're not supposed to go based off of what society thinks. You go based off of whatever the word of God says. So just because we accept it in society, we accept holes in society too.
correct. Correct. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If this is getting applied, but it kind of mixes up society norms and religious norms.
You
So
can't you can't
the
combine the two because we're
but
not
the
of the world.
virtuous comes from the religious norm. The
The
word.
whole idea of what the word of God says is to live to be in the world but not of the world. You can't live based off of the standards that the world is saying. Obey the rules and the laws of the land, but at the same time separate yourself. The whole idea of being saved is to be safe is to be sanctified. That means to be without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. Now that could apply differently depending on whether or not you want to include the whole Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, and all of that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, to be saved and sanctified is to be set aside, separate, right? Saved, sanctified, separated, and all of that stuff. So you have to separate yourself from the world once you give your life over to God. And so the idea of it is if we're trying to base our societal norms, or if you're trying to base Christianity off of societal norms, then I would say that you can't do that. Just because the world accepts it doesn't mean that that's applicable in Christianity.
Right, but then where would the whole societal norm of virtuous women come from, if not religion?
What do you mean?
What we're talking about is religious based in itself, even if you don't put
No, we're
Christianity.
talking about the question that's being
Right,
asked.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying why is it applied if technically across the board nobody's supposed to have these body counts? Why is
Right.
it applied
So
in a Christian society, which America supposedly is, right? Why is that applied when technically nobody is supposed to have it?
I don't think that America is just a Christian society anymore. I think it's a melting pot of a lot of different people from a lot of different cultures. I don't think that marriage is only based off of what Christianity says that it is. You could be married and not necessarily be a Christian, for example. We have our own rules and set and standards that is in addition to the rule of law of the land. So, for example, right, our societal standard now is that gay people can get married. That's not applicable to us because us as Christians and listening to the word of God, we believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. Doesn't mean that we accept it, but we have to deal with it because that's the world and the land that we live in. But we're supposed to hold ourselves to a higher standard as far as what we accept and what we don't accept. So just because society says that this is right or wrong, everything is not applicable to Christians. I don't know if that answers your question. Just because everybody else does it doesn't mean that that's based off of what it is that we set our standards on.
Okay, well, I'll answer the question. Mika, are you finished with that part of it? Yay, nay.
I don't think that Mika likes that answer because the
No,
original question that
I didn't know
Mika
I was on mute. I didn't know I was on mute. I was saying, yeah. I was saying, you can go ahead.
So,
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
So I don't know if he meant it this way by going from virtuous to 15 plus, but I see a lot of room between that's like 14, 15 mistakes you can make. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you a few of those, right? I would say that I would prefer the men to pursue virtuous women again, because the next part of that is 15 plus. I think that again, that gives her a little wiggle room, right? But I believe that if men were only choosing virtuous women, that would make women's standards change. That would change their behavior. It would change what they wanted from men because now they're limited to 14 instead of 100 or whatever. So they would have higher standards for the men. Men would have higher standards from women, and I think we would just turn society on its head.
So you think that women would be different if men only pursued virtuous women?
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have a choice.
Why is the question so long? Why you didn't just ask would you prefer women men to pursue virtuous or non-virtuous women? Like, why did he take this whole time to like what the fuck?
I think that the question went into virtuous versus non-virtuous. But if we really want to summarize it, he's saying that would you prefer that men pursue women that are already on the market that have a pass, or only deal with women that don't have a pass?
I think men should pursue women who they would want their future daughters to be like. You want her to be promiscuous or the future females to be promiscuous? That's what y'all should approach. If y'all want them to have some morals and virtues, that's who y'all should approach as women.
So that
Because
would
that's
mean
what's going to be
that
raising the future women
that would mean that people don't change.
in the future. Well, at one point in society, we had a little bit more standards than we do now. So people change. People change with the times.
Mm.
The standards get more relaxed. Of course, people are going to take advantage of some relaxed standards. Why
And
would
that's
you?
my point. When the standards relax, all of society does. You put the standards back and everybody will shape up.
If a
I
man
don't
is going
think
to
so.
accept me with my boobs and booty out,
I
why would
don't
I
think
cover
so.
up?
I don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with standards. No, but we about to go dark.
I'm good. I'm out.
All right, good night. Um, I don't think it has anything to do with standards. The only way that you can change, in my opinion, women's behavior is to remove their freedom.
Right. Which if the men changed how they pick, that does remove their freedom. You don't get to do whatever you want and still be married the way that you want to. So now there's restrictions on your freedom.
No, I'm saying that you're saying that women will do better in order to meet the expectations of men, but they still have the freedom to choose. I'm saying that the only way that you change it is to remove their freedom to choose for themselves altogether. That's the only way that you can change a woman's behavior. There's this perception, and again, I'm open to being wrong. There's this perception that women will adjust when men set a different when they set a different standard. I disagree with that. I believe that women are going to be rebellious no matter what. And the only way to prevent women from doing the thing that's not right is to restrict them from doing it altogether.
I don't know. I mean, you're not going to change all women to be sure. You're going to still have some scarlet letters running around out there, but they're going to be the outliers.
No, I think that they'll be the majority. Women will do whatever they want. They will sleep with each other.
Facts.
They will go get a rose. They will go on girls' trips. They will go to other countries and get fucked by Jamaicans. Like they do all kind of shit. They do. They do all kind of shit.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So if you telling me that us being righteous is going to change their behavior, I'll tell you the only reason that we in this situation in the first place is because now women got the freedom to choose for themselves.
Yep.
So it would just be a bunch of single women running around. If that's what the standard was, women would just be single and be okay with that.
Yeah, y'all stick anything up in there.
It's not just about that though. There's plenty of women whose like ultimate goal is to be a mother. You're not getting a child from a rose.
AI.
Man is leaving a sperm in cups for us.
Mm-hmm. They're fucking the shit out of that rose.
So give me the cup and give me a rose, and y'all good to go. Like it's a fucking pill at night.
Yeah, I need you not to do that. Keep it in your body,
They're
not in the cup.
fucking the shit. As long as we continue to civilize the world and make it cool for y'all to live in and make it comfortable, unless we go back to hunter gatherer or we just completely restrict y'all ability to make a decision for yourselves, women will always be rebellious.
What is the
Like the hunter-gatherer, we would all die. There would be so many men like, ew, a snake. I'm not, no, none of us would make it.
what was the cup in the rose?
Hmm?
What was a cup in a rose?
The cup is the sperm and the rose as y'all's nut.
Don't even ask why the sperm is in the cup. Just let it go.
Cause that's what you busting that in the fertility clinic price, whatever.
And I will go. Oh man, now
I got you, Molly.
Really go there. I will go so far as to say that when you restrict a woman's freedom, that's when she truly experiences bliss. That's when she truly experiences the best version of herself.
Fucking women.
When you make a decision for her and you tell her to shut the fuck up, that is when a woman is in her greatest moment. That's when she's in her true femininity. That's when she's in the best space ever. And I'll also tell you that most women desire it subconsciously. They just don't want to admit it because it'll make them feel like they're a pygmy.
They desire leadership, yes. Do they desire to be talked to like that?
100%.
Hmm.
And if a woman rejects that, I believe she just hasn't experienced it yet in the right way, from the right person. 100%.
Kim, didn't somebody tell you that they didn't like me because I cussed them out?
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Oh, wow.
How many women do we know that just got their ass kicked by life and they on the internet saying, oh my God, I want to be submissive. Take my rights away. I just want to be up under a man. I don't want to choose for myself. I don't want to know nothing. I just want to do this. I want to do that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They're openly admitting it now.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Life is so much better when
you disagree?
What, that women don't want to think for themselves?
Well, what did you say? Your body language said otherwise.
I didn't say anything. I thought my face was blank. Maybe it wasn't. I meant for it to be.
Nigga, you be having all the shit, nigga.
I'm gonna work on that.
No, I mean, I want to know what's your perspective on that? I want to know.
I want to know. Jose.
I think at this point, life is outside of what women flourish in. Like working all day, I don't think that that's in our nature. I don't think that it's natural, and I think that that's
it was natural
to go outside of the home and work all day and do whatever it is you have to do outside. I don't think any of that is natural. I think we're supposed to be in the house nurturing, whether that's nurturing our baseboards or nurturing some food on the table. Like we're not supposed to be out there cooking or hustling like that. And
so you agree with me, you just don't like the way I said it.
I agree with you. I just don't think that you need to talk to people like that. I think that you can assert dominance without having to cuss somebody out.
I ain't cussing nobody out. Just saying, shut the fuck up.
Hold on a second. You think that what I said and how I said it, that's considered cussing somebody out?
You used curse words.
But do you think that that's me cursing somebody out?
I think that's you cussing at somebody. I don't necessarily believe that that's cussing somebody out, but you are cursing at somebody, and you can do what you need to do without doing that.
Nah.
So you said you have to use those words, potty words. That's what you're saying. You have to use all the 4-letter words that are out there in order to get your point across and for her to be submissive.
Bitch is 5 letters.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew when I said it that you were going to say that.
Well, that's the main one we're going to use when we're talking to women. So just saying.
You're not going to call her that to her face?
You want me to? So wait a minute. You want me to say it to you nicely? Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't even necessarily have to be nice, but there's a million words in the English language. Why are you stopping at those?
Because I'm a C student.
You dirty bitch. Like, is we
Because it hit different.
Does it make it sound better that I said it that way?
Honestly, I say what I think, and I don't care about. I just say whatever it is that I want to say, and I think that women love that shit.
This nigga Quinn sounded like Wesley Pipes.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe y'all disagree, but I think that women don't. I don't even gonna go that far. I'm gonna just be quiet.
I think women are weird, and they do like dismissive men. I don't know about getting cussed out, but they definitely like.
I don't look at that as saying cuss.
He wasn't cussing. I don't think he was cussing her.
Just because I'm cursing doesn't mean I'm cursing you out.
That's not.
Right. I don't know any
in specified.
If I tell you, girl, take them fucking panties off. Like if you're telling me you shouldn't have to curse when I say that, I'm like, what? I don't think that that's a bad thing for me to say, girl, take your fucking panties off. What you doing? I don't really have no. I might not feel like saying fucking panties. I might say, girl, take them panties off. Or I might say, what you doing with them fucking panties on? Like, either way, it's not cursing you out. And I don't want you to mix up these words with cursing you out. That's not the same thing.
I think, I don't know, just growing up in my household with men who are military and law enforcement, all of them talk like that.
See?
Like curse word, like going like all of my family are like special ops, all that they curse a mile a minute, even when they're being nice to you. The men.
I may say all kind of shit when we in it. You my hoe.
So
I may say all kind of things. I don't know what
I'm used to hearing that. But you can tell by like the tone, which women already know.
Right. I understand that. And then maybe that's the difference in the way we grew up. My dad, I think I might have heard him use one curse word ever.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be that, but you know, my dad nor my granddad, both of them would that's just how they talk because of how they grew up.
I've never heard my dad.
I don't think. I don't know. It might be just me. I don't necessarily hear a man when he's really soft.
I didn't say he had to be soft.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, if he's like, oh, can you?
But he can still be dominant and assertive and not have to use curse words.
What Kim is basically saying is she don't prefer men that curse. And that's cool.
That's not what I said. What I said was
that's my interpretation of it.
Assertive without using those words.
I mean, but the other alternative is he's going to raise his voice, and not you per se, but then there are women that might say, "Oh, well, why are you yelling at me?"
Voice either. A man can walk into a room, be dominant, assertive, and extremely masculine, never raise his voice, and never curse. Have you not been around men like that?
That's what my father is.
Same time,
that's what my dad is.
100%, right? I don't have to raise my voice when I'm at the crib or whatever, right? But at the same time, I may curse or I may not curse. I just am what I am. I guess. Listen, I get it. You got a preference. You understand how you like to be communicated by, and I respect that. I'm never gonna change though, and
I'm not saying.
Listen, I respect what she's saying. I don't have a problem. I think that everybody got a preference. I'm never going to change.
But also
I think
understand
a woman will listen to her
have a
dad.
preference either way. I'm
Carrie's
just
talking about, but I don't think a woman would listen to another man, because you respect your dad, but your dad has earned your respect. Your dad is the one that raised you, so there's a difference there. So he can have a lower tone because you already have a level of respect. Usually, somebody from
I don't really care what women think though. I just kind of do whatever it is that I'm gonna do. But honestly, like I'm gonna take me the way that I am or don't, and I'm okay with a woman saying, you know what, I don't care for that. Now I've never seen a woman say that, but if a woman says that, I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with that. My one rule is that I'll never prevent somebody from walking away. So, but I'm not gonna change either. Like I'm not gonna adjust.
I don't think you should. You should always be who you are. And I'm not saying that I have a preference either way. What I'm saying is that it's possible.
Yeah, I don't want to though.
I'm like, because if truth be told, the words that I say aren't all that clean.
There you go. So what you talking about?
That's what I said. I don't have a preference either way. I just said,
See, guys, let me tell y'all something. This is why, fellas in the chat that's watching this show right now, this is why you don't fucking change. Y'all keep on adjusting and try, and they don't want
I
that
was
shit.
gonna help you. And then
They just fucking podding. They podding. Don't listen to what women tell you.
that's hilarious.
You're gonna have to move based off of your own instincts and you maintain fucking frame and you do what you do. Stop adjusting. Stop being weak. Stop.
to be fair, I always say don't adjust. Be who you're going to be.
What's
It
wrong?
is still possible, though. That's all I'm saying. It's possible. But Mika, yes, to answer your question, I cuss a lot.
See? See what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
I almost believe she was trying to.
That's why I said I was sitting here like, but I understand.
No, let me tell you what that is, fellas.
I'm not.
Let me tell you what that is. This is why you got to deal with women differently. I believe that Kim was trying to test to see just as much, just how far she could take it. That's what I believe. I believe women will test you to try to figure out whether or not you maintain frame or not in different ways all the time. I think women do that shit all the time. They test guys. They want to see what they can get away with. Kim got a little bit of rebelliousness in her. I like that shit.
This nigga said a little.
Quentin, really?
Oh, my bad. I thought it was on mute.
Faces when you say stuff like that.
What happened?
Mm-hmm.
See, Anton, now you got them going in the chat.
I got what going? No, I don't. I ain't even looking at the chat right now. I'm just saying in general.
I just happened to look down at it. Oh my God.
I think that women test men all the time. They want to see exactly what they're about. They want to see what their character is, if they really am, or if they just repeating talking points from the internet. They want to see if you really a simp. They want to see what you're really about. And I think that women 100% of the time test guys without even thinking about it. I think they test guys.
I think women know who. I think women are just like you are in your childhood. You know who you can play with and who you can't.
Agreed.
And that's just honesty.